Hello, internets.
Hello, and welcome to this. We are professional now.
Not this, them.
Welcome to Riding with the Midnight Musketeers.
All right, start over.
Take two.
We are
That's
the
next
Dawn.
game, John.
What?
We are the Dawn.
The dawn.
The Dawn.
It's a new part of the day.
It looks more like
The
dusk.
dawn.
Wrong campaign. Wrong
Dawn
campaign.
comes every day. So, who remembers what happened in the last adventure?
Well,
I killed a Gorgon on the butt.
Right up the butt.
On it.
On the butt. That's right.
that'll learn it.
Blew up its derriere.
Yeah.
Ergoon got totally cutesy with some butterflies.
Yes.
That was the best.
We got a weapon of
That's
fate
right.
destruction. Well, you can't be immortal anymore, but
Yeah. It's called the Thorn.
The
Ismet
immortalizing.
and Orlak had a nice fight.
I think we had a polite, energetic conversation.
You had an argument.
we
You
had
disagreed.
They branded.
a moral debate,
That's right.
which turned out didn't matter because he would have done it anyway. So fuck. Because he's a good friend.
That's right. Damn it.
Which is new for Ergoon.
Very good.
But yeah, moral quandary being that someone has to bind themselves to the skull with Eulorian once we make him mortal, if we're going to put him in the skull instead of.
And not just someone who cares for Kismet and who she cares about in some fashion.
Yeah.
And it can't be Kismet.
Or she would do it.
That wouldn't be thematically interesting.
Nope.
I mean, it would be interesting, but it wouldn't be emotional torture.
You should split yourself.
Oh, God.
I don't even know. What?
Like a Horcrux.
Like a Horcrux.
We got transported to the Fey realm, met up with some Scarabines, Goth Paramorgoon, killed him on the butt.
With a
And-
I had
furball.
help. I had help.
Then we met a couple fairies who we think at this point are friends.
Maybe.
Potentially. Maybe.
Yes. They did
Some
say
fey people.
the code phrase.
They, yes. The Ooga Booga.
Yeah, Kismet had to say it a lot.
Linka.
Linka Badinka.
Linka, Basmeka, Bamekundink.
Get points for saying it with zero irony every time.
Inka. Linka Badinka.
Inka dinka balinka, okay?
Inka,
Yeah, I knew there was a Dinka in there.
Inka Dinka Balinka.
There was definitely a sense.
Pop the cork and you stink, not because you're dirty, not because you're clean, just because you kissed a girl behind the magazine and you are not it.
There was definitely a sense of every time Kismet said it that she's like, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud.
A little bit, yeah.
we have no proof that
Can't
that
believe
was
it. And also, I kind of love it.
and not LJ.
That's right. And then you
Yeah, we
fought
came
Gorgon.
into-
Willow.
Hey.
If you don't have your names there, it takes me a minute to
I'm sorry.
remember names.
We can go back to
we
it.
can stop with the joke.
Hit it with a fireball. And
Said that
well,
one.
actually, first Aragoon charged this metal bull Gorgon and wrestled it to the ground. and held on to it while everyone came up and beat on it. And finally, Willow used the wand of fireballs to blow up its butt.
I grabbed the bull by its horns.
That's right. And then you were, because when you came to the Feywild, you found yourselves, you were pulled off target by some force.
Oh, yes, the planar fuckery.
Planar fuckery. That was exactly what it was. And ended up falling into a swamp that was all covered in mist. And you started looking around, and found not statues, but warriors.
Stoned warriors.
Battle. What looked like there was some sort of battle going on, and all of these soldiers had been turned to stone. Soon afterwards, the Gorgon attacked. Erkun razzled it. Everyone stabbed it, and then Willow blowed it up. And you kept walking and found yourselves going up a hill, turned to stone, and out of the mist, and you saw a large forest that was all kind of like wonky and twisty and with like purple leaves and oranges and pinks, and beyond it a castle. And right at the edge, one edge of the castle, you could see that the sky went from this like glorious kind of greens and blues and purples to just grayness. And out of that gray, one of the spires of the towers came and interwove with one of the towers in the castle. It's almost as if it was a mirror image of the castle, but in like kind of black and white, like grays. And the colorful castle was intertwined with the black and white castle. You heard some rustling in a hedge, and Kismet said the crazy phrasey of the daisy. And
Dinka-balinka.
Yeah. And you heard, "You lollipop is a stinker." And in the hedges before you, some couple of elven faces, sort of covered in like mud and like almost like it's war paint, and then like sticks all around it so that they can blend in. And then one of them, you can see fur and like a fawn nose and like horns that have been covered with sticks. And there's 5 of them.
One for each of
looking
us.
at you. One for each of you.
I'm kidding.
This is the part where you say something, Kismet.
What do you want to do?
We're here. Do you have Trill with you?
Mhm.
We were following a
You
message.
see this pixie fly out of it, and she's got like sticks coming out of her back and stuff. And she goes, "It's a trick! Get him!" And they're kind of like, everybody looks around. Like, "Come on, go away from the sticky."
That would be unwise.
I take
Charge!
out my blades, but not like threateningly, and I just clang them above my head, and I cast.
Wait, explain how you draw your blades unthreateningly.
No, I do it really fast, but I'm not pointing them at anybody. Just trust me.
I
It's
got
a
it.
thematic moment.
I got it.
And I cast. I have a cantrip that makes them light up green. I think it's just called
Green flame blade.
Yeah, that.
That's sort of an attack thing.
But can I just?
Brian, let it happen.
Yeah, stop telling her what she's doing and let her do it.
I'm not near them. They're far away. It's just I'm doing the thing, and they'll know what they are. Anyways, shush. Anyways, I climb them both my head, and then I just sort of bring them down in front of me and let the glow just sort of like light up my features and my face.
Okay.
And I just say, "This is no trick. I am Kismet Arturo, and I'm here to fight." But I'm like holding my blades like down in front of me. Or you.
And you just kind of do this show of power, but non-threatening. Make this kind of circle, and you put them in front of you and crossed, like a defense almost, not even that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think actually at the end I stick him in the ground and I kneel.
Okay. And you kneel down, and you see the 5 faces from below look up at the pixie. You still think it's a trick? Comes down. You can see she's got a wand in her hand pointed at you. She's still maybe 3 feet away. She said,
I don't flinch.
Huh?
Oh, I was just saying I don't flinch. I'm just staring like straight, open-faced right there.
She say she Kismet. She look like Kismet. She knows. And you hear one of them say, "She knows the rhyme." Pixie kind of like buzzes around a little bit and says, "Who the rest of you?"
These are my comrades and my kin. They come here to fight.
I walk over to a tree stump, sit down, and pull out a book and start reading.
The pixie comes over. Not take me seriously?
Not really.
We shall see about that. Okay.
He's grumpy by personality, but very sweet and actually soft. It just takes a bit.
If you would
All right.
trust me, then you would trust them. I trust them with my life. I have before and I will again.
You can
They're here
see,
to fight a war that's not their own.
You can see the creatures who are in the hedge are kind of like coming out a little bit and looking like they're not keeping their guard up at this point. Like, and one of them like kind of stands up and is almost like this giant deer fawn. 2 of them are Eladrin, just, fey elves. And then one of them is actually like a gnome-sized creature, basically a fey gnome. And they come walking out, and the pixie goes over. "We will take them to Galenikos. He will know what to do."
Who is this? You're taking us to?
Galenikos, come into the brambles. And she
Quickest way.
goes down and takes her wand and just kind of like waves it, and you can see the brambles that they were all hiding in kind of turn into an arch, and you can see that it's this tunnel.
That makes more sense.
Is it big enough for our Draken?
Yeah. I'll have to hunch a little bit.
I mean, Orlak is relatively fair sized. Ergun's just large.
I think I'm only 6'2" or something.
Ergun's the tall one.
I'm like 8 foot.
You like 'em big boys? Like 'em big boys? Like 'em big boys?
What?
Yeah, and this fawn creature too is also probably 6.5, 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And very like skinny and lanky.
7.5 with the antlers.
Yeah. Keep it down.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
We shall.
You hear the pixie. You keep your eye on them. If they try any tricks, kill them. And they're like, settle down.
I shut the book really loud just to freak out the pixie. Look away.
As we're walking, I sort of end up near the fawn and just ask, "What's your name?"
Have you seen a lamppost recently?
Bannister.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's been many years since I was, well, since I was aware I was home.
Sorry?
I just, it's nice to be here, to be among my folk.
Well, it's good to have you here. We've been waiting. Keeping things up for you. I mean, he kind of looks over at the pixie who's like flying backwards watching everybody.
I won't
It's
punk.
like, if you are who you say you are, and I believe you are who you say you are. But
Worried.
Yelozra, she's paid, I mean, well, not paid really, but it's her job to be suspicious.
She sort of work for this Galanikos? Who is this?
Oh, we all do. Follow him.
He's a resistance leader then.
Oh, yeah. You don't know Galanikos, that's right. Good leader, stern, firm, but he taught us all to fight. Taught us how to keep from being seen, although Mediel, she's our military leader. She's also she's the one who kind of drills us and keeps us in line, assigns us to squads, sends us on patrols.
Right. I'm glad to hear there's such organization. I am looking forward to meeting them both. Have you any news of Prill
No,
at the camp?
we haven't seen her since she went to your realm.
Right. I know she was here for a time. I'm sure she'll turn up.
Oh, I'm sure she will. She always does. Has a way of surviving that one. So tricksy.
That's what I like about her.
Good spy.
She was within Eulorian's ranks.
Yeah. I thought that's how she met you, and
Right.
Yeah, gave you news from inside the ranks.
Out of character, sorry. It's been a while. I forgot. Pretend that I didn't forget that.
I'm scraping my my memories here.
Perhaps she's hit up some of her old contacts then.
If all goes well, we'll have some favorable surprises when we attack the castle.
Is there a plan already? A date?
Plan was wait for Kismet, then attack the castle.
Right.
So, step one.
Me. Is it much further, this, wherever we're going?
No, and as you you like enter this place and it goes down and it's just these thick brambles, and as you're moving through, they kind of expand to into a tunnel to allow you through. You're kind of winding through hills and vales and all sorts of stuff, and you get a little turned around down here, and eventually, when you ask if it's, yep, we're almost there, and the brambles just then like open up into this cave. And you kind of come out on top on this ledge, and you can see down inside. The top of this cave is actually like covered in brambles as well, blocking out the light. And down inside there are all sorts of different ledges and pathways on different levels, and there are soldiers and musicians and all sorts of different creatures down here, and fires going, and people cooking for others and eating, and there's a section of wounded, and it's probably around, you could, just from what you can see at least 100 people down here just randomly moving around. And at which point, as soon as you get in there, the pixie's like, and just takes off into the cave.
Oh, looks like she's gone, Orlok.
Who?
Nobody.
So, Willow.
Yeah?
Do you feel any different here in the Fey Realm? It's much full of more nature magic. You as a druid. I was curious to see if you felt that your magic was different here. And he pulls out a notebook and he's ready to take notes.
I suppose it feels more saturated here.
Saturated.
It's not like a different flavor or anything. It just feels stronger here.
Interesting.
You know, like a really well-seasoned dish? That's what this realm feels like. It's got layers.
Dish.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very hungry all of a sudden.
And he kind of turn on Kismet. What about you, Kismet? This is a land that you are linked to from young age. Are you feeling any different?
She's just gazing out over everything, just sort of like looking down at all of the different people she sees moving around and just sort of taking it all in, not really listening. So she actually gives an honest answer. I don't know, it feels a bit tingly, like Just little specks and motes of electricity just weaving about the air of the place. And that's sort of
Urged air.
no
Atmospheric
it's like
effects
it settles on
question.
me like a skin if I sit one place for long enough.
Interesting. I think there's a moment where we're all kind of like standing there, like looking at Kismet, like,
Well,
They take
she
you
looks
down.
over Vanister or whatever is like, I mean, where are we supposed to go?
They continue. You never really
Okay.
stop walking. I
Okay.
figured this was kind of a rewind a little bit, and they take you down this kind of zigzag trail on the side, and you can see some of the people look up, and then like kind of look up, like, "Oh, hey, you're back," and some whispers kind of go through, and you can see some of the flying creatures start to come over and look at you. A lot of the other folks there, and you can see there a lot of, not all of them, but most of them are wearing this oak leaf that is like kind of like on the ground, almost like this, and they start kind of gathering at the base of this path.
You want me to cut you?
And you can hear them all whispering, like, "Oh God, is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? Like, oh, is that her? Is that her?" And so there's a bit of a commotion as they come down, Kismet, and everybody's eyes are on you. What do you do?
She's just sort of trying not to fidget too much, but not succeeding entirely, and maybe running her hands through her hair more than is absolutely necessary, and just trying to breathe. And she just kind of whispers down out of the corner of her mouth to Sir Christopher. It's just like, I don't know, tell me something funny.
Do something funny?
Need to not be anxious, so the anxious needs to turn into something else, and the easiest thing is funny.
You feel him scratching behind your ear. He says, "This is usually what keeps me from anxiousness. A little scratch behind the ears." No? I thought it might be funny.
John, I cast minor illusion, and I'm gonna make like sparkles, like subtle, on Kismet to like enhance her in front of the crowd.
All right. So it's kind of, oh, it must be her. It must be her. Look, she's magic. You can see. All this stuff. And you hear, Eliza.
Wow. Willow. Sometimes it's like Kismet is so powerful, it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, I was almost knocked over off my feet.
She is always glowing and
Radiant.
honestly, and the fury that she brings to battle. I have seen her tear monsters apart. Monsters bigger than buildings.
Mm-hmm. Seen it myself.
At this point, Kismet accidentally stops walking, and Eliza runs into her, knocking the breath out of her lungs temporarily, just for a moment.
She's like a brick wall. So strong.
Eliza,
We're helping.
really, really appreciate what you're trying to do here, but also at the same time, please stop.
Yes, my queen.
Right. Hey, all right, everybody. Break it up. Break it up. What's going on over here? Oh,
Who's that?
hello. You see probably about 6 foot tall, lean elf man with some like an undercut and his hair up, pulled back, and some long braids coming down the sides and war paint.
Ooh, okay.
Didn't I see him on Avatar?
Not blue enough.
So the next question is, does Willow notice and does Argoon become jealous? Damn!
Argoon's too oblivious.
We both notice him.
Are all the Fae daddy?
All
They
the
make
face
them different
daddies.
here. They're built different.
He comes up and he goes, "Oh, you've arrived."
You must be Galanikos.
Yeah, you can call me Nikos. He puts out his hand.
Take it. Like a nice firm, like, warrior clasp.
By
Yeah.
the accent, he must be Drow because he's from down under.
But he says, "All right, well, come on, let's get you in away from all these gawkers."
As we follow him, I'm going to lean over to Willow, like kind of come between Willow and Eliza, and say something like, just very quietly, like, "Notoriously, the Fae use glamours to make themselves look more attractive than they actually are."
Well, it's working.
I mean, yeah, it worked.
Argoon, they're not glamorous.
Interesting.
Orlok.
I can see they are not glamorous.
Orlok,
Just naturally
Fine.
beautiful.
are you saying
Willow.
you noticed how attractive he is?
Not blind.
I am the
I'm a
opposite.
dragon. I'm not blind.
Esmet comes back because she followed him right away. Are you coming?
Yeah,
Almost.
kind of, in a way.
Apparently.
Keep up the dawn. Come on.
I'm
And he
confused.
Yes, sir.
takes you to this. He says, "Welcome to my cave," and he opens up this kind of arched doorway with a little moon in it, and inside it is basically like a really nicely hollowed out cave with kind of sparse. There are a few chairs in here and a table, 4 or 5 bottles of wine on the table, a bed in the corner, and you know, this is. And some windows on the side, a little kitchen area. It's a studio, but it's nice. This is won't you have a seat, Sarah? Are you hungry after your trip?
Yeah. Well, I can't be the only one.
I'm not quite sure I have an appetite for much but information, but I'm sure my compatriots could do with weight.
She will eat bacon if you give it to her.
I'm fine.
With information.
And you all come in and start to sit down. And he goes, "All right, well, don't have any bacon on hand. You know, things are a bit sparse down here, but."
Well, I've got enough for everyone. She just starts handing everyone bacon.
That's true. You did have like handfuls of pocket bacon coming out of Baba Yaga's.
No, I have the pocket that.
Oh, that's right.
I have an unlimited bacon pocket.
That's right. Brian designed it.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "Oh, well, we've got these honey balls." And he takes it's like this just bare wooden bowl, and it's just got these like little round balls in them that are like, they all look very sticky. And he puts them on the table. And he grabs a few wine glasses and sets them around and says, and takes a seat. Says, Media will be along shortly. Right? And as you're all taking seats, you can see like all the windows, like you see like eyes looking in through the windows, people trying to check out what's happening inside. He says, well, I'm glad you're here. We've been trying to keep everything safe in your absence, but yeah, we've lost quite a few people, but been doing what we can, taking them out where we can, but ever since they teamed up with Shadowfell, you know, it's been rough going.
Shadowfell.
Oh yeah, you haven't heard?
I beg your pardon. I'm dealing with a deficit both of time and memory. And unfortunately, while my will is very much yours and my heart is true and my swords are sharp, my history and memories are a bit clouded for me.
Ah,
It's not-
right. Yeah, that's what the dog said. Something about that.
So, Shadowfell?
Yeah, sorry, just... I don't mean to outpace you. If you need anything, just ask me to go back and I'll do what I can. Yeah, so not too long ago, and he kind of rubs his hand through his hair and lets down a little bun behind. And, a few weeks ago now, something happened where the portal opened up next to Citadel, and next to it was an identical Citadel, but no color. So then we started seeing beastmen instead of just fawns, you know, they were like goats. But, you know, colors all dreary, drained.
Was this space
Creatures made of shadow.
space that didn't exist before? Is it more than it was, or is it changing what was there already?
Well, from what I've heard from the pixies, you know, not all of them made it back, but sounds like what they saw was Eulorian making a deal with some creatures, Shadowfell.
Hey, John, would I have heard of this Shadowfell?
Make an Arcana check.
I mean, given the whole protecting
I feel like
the
our
planes
Yeah,
stuff.
I think it's probably something you wouldn't actually even have to roll on. Yes.
So is it that like that's like the dark reflection of the Fey realm, basically?
Yeah, it's like you've got
Seelie,
Primal
unseelie.
Plane, and then you've got like the chaotic Fey realm and the Shadowfell, but they kind of touch on the edges, and
Yeah. So it's like the bright reflection, dark reflection of the real world. Sort of thing.
yeah,
And Seelie, unseelie, that
yeah. Shadowfell is like the upside down.
Yeah.
Mm.
So apparently, what they based the upside down on was
Shadowfell.
Mhm.
But it's not to do with the Unseelie court. It's its own separate, like, flip of the whole thing.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Like traditionally, like the Seelie courts in the Fey realm and the unseelie courts in the Shadowfell.
So I'm sorry, John, I'm struggling as a person in a way I don't think Kismet would be struggling as a character.
I got your back, baby.
No, I just so how did that but they were gonna rule together? They're
that you don't know.
Okay.
Something has happened here that has never happened ever. There's been a crossover of realms. I will say that it is not unlike what's happening in Aldgate with the Hells and the Dragon.
That would make sense, actually.
And then we've got to find out. I mean, if Elorian's not running Shadowfell, we need to know who is.
Presumably whoever he made a deal with.
Because by rights, it's not just... I mean, I don't mean to pull that card, but by rights, I'm not just fighting for the Citadel. I'm fighting for Shadowfell, too. Can't ignore the other half of who I am. I don't want either realm under his rule or his allies. And if that's where he's getting his power, I need to know all the pieces on the chessboard. We can't attack one not knowing what the other's doing.
Well, you know from your allies that this realm was waiting for you, yes? But who's to say what happened with the succession in the Shadowfell? It's like a different realm. It could be waiting. They could have passed the crown on to someone else.
She looks at Galanikos and she's just sort of like, do you know anything of what's befallen Shadowfell?
Seems like combination of powers. You know, we were doing not so bad when it was against our own kind. You know, the occasional dark ant here and there. Pixies, rough fucking customers, you know. Turn people to stone, polymorphous. But found ways around that. We got our own pixies. So it was more of a stalemate for a little while. We started making some progress, backing them up. But suddenly, all the color got sucked out. And then shadows started coming alive, eating us up. Creatures in the sky. Gigantic claws, big wings, screech that'll put fear right through you.
Those don't... I don't know. Those sound more like invaders than your other side. Have you had any conversation or relationship with anyone from that side? Any contact, any dreams even?
I'm assuming that's a Kismet question.
Yes.
No, not that I know of. I mean, I always assumed anything that happened was Elorian.
Or lack.
Well, make no mistake, they're working for him.
Or lack.
Go back to his citadel at night.
We should alert the Imperia or people about the incursions here as well.
I could try to use the book to see if it will send the message, but he may be too far removed. But he pulls out the book anyway, and he sends a message to his commander about recent events. But he doesn't like the tone of his voice was sort of like, I don't think this is going to work, but yeah, I'll try it.
Cross realms. Yeah, you like write it down, and it usually kind of like, wouldn't we say it like turns to ash?
Well, yeah, it's sort of like glow, like it's in, you sort of like fades, or and I'm assuming it just sits there.
Yeah, it just sits there.
I could perhaps devise some sort of spell at some point to try to do this, but not at the moment.
I've maybe got an idea of something that might possibly work, but it'll have to wait a moment. You said we were waiting on another Mediel? Did you want to wait to discuss sort of where you all stand in terms of force?
At which point you hear the door handle go, and this door opens up, and it is this red-headed Eladrin woman wearing bits and pieces of armor, more face paint.
I love you so much.
I made this in case Ergun did something that he didn't know was hot.
Hey, so Willow's just walking around carrying a sign that says hot and sometimes holding it up when someone...
And it's appropriate.
That was...
Are you saying I'm not naturally hot?
That is not what I'm saying.
Oh,
Ergun, I can say from experience, you're very warm.
She comes inside and she says, well, good to see you're finally here. Come, let us pour the wine and get to planning. And she comes and she shuts the door and sits down, grabs your hand, Kismet, and says, Amedia, at your service.
And Kismet, and I'm at yours.
But I can't believe the day has finally come. I have been ready to storm that citadel ever since it popped up.
Well, I've brought quite a force of my own, though we're maybe smaller in number than you are here. But tell me, what sort of force does the Resistance have?
Well, normally I would be probably a little skeptical of 5 people showing up and saying that they were a force to be reckoned with. But from what the dog said, I am glad you're here. Well, we have probably 300 strong in this one alcove alone. But we have alcoves all over. So when the day comes, I can send out the word that we are advancing. We can do an assault while perhaps you go after Yulorian himself.
We need a way to get to him, and we need a way to make him hurt. I can take care of him, but in order for that to work, we must bring him to the edge. Their edge. And we need time and, well, support to do it. I can't bring him down if there's a maelstrom of other forces around us, picking us off one by one. We've got to be able to get to him, and we've got to be able to hit him hard.
We'll need to edge him for a long time before we can capture him.
I would imagine that he might seek you out, Kismet.
I believe he would, but he, as much as he has a love of his own power, he has even more love of the power that has over others. And if he can set a trap, he can use others to work his will and gloat all the while. I know him. I know he will. We gotta find a way to get him alone. Throw him out.
Well, we have a group of shock troops. Between them and with your powers, and if we combine, I'm sure we could put a hole in his defenses. And then you could stream through.
I know Prill was working as a spy. Is there anyone else among your number who was as successful as she was? Anyone who might have information about... There's something... We got to figure out what he offered them. We got to figure out why they're working with him. It can't have been something small.
It's true. I think he must have Nico says, I think he was running low on troops and got desperate, so whatever he gave up, maybe it was part of his kingdom.
Perhaps he promised them ours.
And they kind of look at each other, look back at Orlac and go, that would make sense. There is a swelling of magic growing at the Citadel.
To there!
Thought perhaps that it was just the penetration of this realm into the next, but perhaps it is the gap. They're going to open another gap to come in the back door to your realm as well.
And relieve the swelling.
Yes. Yes, and once it has achieved release,
they need to take a nap. I'd like to apologize to everyone at home.
We're goofy tonight.
Are 14, a lot of you.
the horniest night.
It's not even horny. It's dick jokes.
Horny dick jokes.
Oh, God.
Hey, look, the Draken can't help their anatomy.
Oh, no.
Very
Give a whole new meaning to the word horny.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh, gosh.
I need more wine for this.
Scaled for your pleasure.
Oh,
Scaling
God.
for your pleasure.
As we,
And that's pee break, everybody.
wait,
right.
hold on. As we sit and watch her talking to Kismet, I just very quietly pick up a notebook and show this to Willow. And then put it away.
What's her name? Did we catch it? I didn't write it down.
I'm Miss McCarty.
Mediel.
Mediel?
Mediel.
Thank you.
Hey, John, and during all of that, I cast Sending, and
I saw that, yeah.
Right back.
I'm gonna go grab a snacky.
Yeah, I'm going to put the spelling of their names.
Thank you. God, all of these times when you were like, you said come so many times, and I was just like,
No,
I am
when it was the edging that took me over the edge.
Actually, you said something about arriving, and I was already gone.
Yeah.
So, snack time.
And eventually I just eventually I just gave in and went with it.
Yeah, you did. I thought you were doing that just to be like, okay, I'm going to say all of it just to get them past this spot.
Get it out of,
and then just get it out so we can move.
just gotta rub it out of our system.
You just let it happen.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Woo! Successful break.
Is anyone eating the honey balls?
Yeah, I take one. I kind of pick it up with like my claws, and I'm like, I kind of look at it for a little, for like.
I missed those.
I take one and I make it extra crispy and then eat it.
I want to try it like that.
Or like you pop it in your mouth, and as you bite into it, like there's this like almost plum-like fruity center.
I want one.
So it's like honey, and then this like crispy bread, and or crispy dough, and then like this fruity kind of center.
These are quite good. So,
I eat.
Kismet, I believe your Kismet, I believe your thinking is flawed. You say that you want to draw him out, but I fear the time for that sort of skullduggery is beyond us. There's an army of 100 people outside, and he has, no doubt, a similar or larger force. I believe you should shift your thinking to much more of a army feel versus a rogue or an individual unit.
How many?
Both.
How many forces do you have here, Nico, Medio?
They said 300.
You said 300.
Yes,
Has there been- and did
300
we-
here, but we have many
Cells.
yes, camps all over, and perhaps 1,000, maybe 1,200.
Your foe, Kismet, is...
And we also have owls, perhaps. Would that be helpful to you? Riding owls.
Kismet, your foe is too canny to be fooled to leave his defenses alone. I fear we could, or I theorize we could distract his army or draw his army off to one side, but it would still be us or a small unit, including us, penetrating his fortress. But I do not believe a trap would work. The only thing logic suggests the only thing that would come of that would be ourselves becoming trapped by him as he arrives with a stronger force.
I just need to figure out a way to meet him not on the battlefield. The battle must happen regardless, but he's not going to lead it unless he knows I'm there. So if we can...
Sorry, good.
No, you go.
No, that was Brian saying to LJ, keep going, because I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I don't know. It made me lose my train of thought.
Okay, sorry.
This is hard. This is so hard. I don't fucking know battlefield.
So Orlok interrupts then and says, why don't you want to face him on the battlefield?
He'll find some way to... I don't know. I don't trust him. I want his focus to be on me. I don't want him tempted for drastic leverage.
I look at Nikos and say, may we speak with Kismet privately for a moment?
Absolutely. We'll go get some more wine and keep this in mind. He's become paranoid and reclusive, so he may not join his forces on the battlefield, if that helps you. But Come on, Mediel. Let's leave him alone for a bit. Hey, and you guys, get out of the windows. That's rude.
Is Kismet still kind of glowing from Orlok?
No, I stopped doing that once we came inside.
And they leave the room.
So Orlok kind of turns to Kismet and says, "What are you doing? You're a warrior. It's time to step up. You're acting afraid of him, and they can see it.
Yeah.
You plan on leading these people. It's time to lead. Are you afraid to face him?"
Only a fool wouldn't be.
Surely this is not the first time you've been afraid of something. A warrior rides the wave of fear. It's what my wife keeps saying.
Well,
The weight of
I don't
the
know, Orlok.
consequences are
tell me
large.
how I should feel. Tell me how I should feel facing down the idea of staring into the eyes of the man who I watched slaughter every member of my family.
The same way you should feel when you slaughtered the man who jailed you the first time and enslaved your friends. Angry and triumphant. Free.
And honestly, it doesn't matter how you feel. You're queen. It matters how they think. And he kind of points to the people, to the Fae outside. It matters how they think you feel. If they think that you're afraid, the morale will suffer. I am certainly no warrior, but the Draken are trained from birth in the culture of war. And if anything that my wife has taught me in endless lectures, it's that sometimes you have to put aside how you feel, or even if you do feel, and get the job done.
Willow and I may have been putting on a performance out there,
What?
but what we said, Orlok,
Sorry.
but what we said was not a lie. You are strong. I have seen you slay monsters the size of buildings. I have seen you fell armies before. I have seen you destroy evil day after day. I have seen you battle me for my soul at potential cost to your own.
That's just it, though. When I did all of those things, I wasn't responsible for anyone but me and you and us. There's so many people out there. There's so many people out there, and they're all counting on me. And I don't know what to do. I don't know. I have a weapon, I have a destiny, I have a family, I have a history, I have a fucking crazy battle mad lord of it's I want to run and I can't. I want to fight it myself and I can't. I want to do it myself and I can't.
The expression is true that heavy is the head that wears the crown. But let me ask you this, Kismet. What would your Captain Doolin do?
He'd breathe. We need to know where their forces are. We need to know where the bulk of them are. We need to know where to hit.
Eliza's going to go to the door and poke her head out and go, "Can someone get us a battle map, please? Thank you."
We need to find a way to pierce in. If he's reclusive, if he's alone, then we have to find a way to slice through every single layer. We've got to use what we have impishly. Peel off layer after layer, leaving people behind until we can push through to the center.
And
That's talking like a queen.
and keep the thorn hidden and tell no one of it.
A secret weapon is best kept secret.
That's talking like a musketeer. And a good one.
Now you take that back.
She looks at Willow. Can you find Krill?
Sure. I'll do what I can.
We're in the right plane. You know who she is. You know what she looks like.
Of course.
We need to find her. I can't shake the feeling that there's something she knows. Or she'd be here.
Did Orlac ever meet Prill? I can't remember.
I think you did when we were in mid.
Yeah, we had Prill when we rescued Eliza's mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've met her, and then she's been staying with Eliza's mother wherever that has been, the various places. So
I could cast Sending. See if I could find out where Prill is.
know
If
that she may be
Krill
taking
is
hostage.
captured, maybe tell her if she's captured and can't speak to cough instead.
And give us some kind of sign.
Well, it hears the answer in its mind and can answer in the same manner.
Oh, okay.
It's
So it
mental.
doesn't have. They don't have to speak out loud. Okay.
No. I mean, they could be blocked, and but
Yeah.
I'll try. So, what do you want to say? You can use 25 words.
it's for where she is. And if she can't answer, tell her to cough.
It's mental.
Oh, right. She can answer no matter what. Right. Sorry. Right. Ask where she is, if she's detained. If she thinks rescue is possible, and if not, to pass on any relevant information, and we'll come for her when it's all over.
All right, this is what I sent.
Read it for the home audience.
Prill, we are here. Can you tell us where you are? Who is guarding you? Keep hope. We are coming for you. She can answer with 25 words.
So you, Orlac, write down what you're going to say. You cast the spell and you reach out and you cannot find the mind. You can't connect.
Does it feel like I'm being? Can I tell if it feels like I'm being blocked, or does it feel like?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Uh, 19.
19. It feels more like when there's nobody to be found.
So I'm thinking like
I mean, your sending spell earlier didn't work because you were trying to communicate with another plane, right?
No, but that was the book. The sending spell does work across planes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Got it.
The message did not go through. It's like there's no mind there to receive it.
So stone, which can be restored.
Hopefully that is what it is.
It is pretty likely.
From
We
what
saw
we see.
plenty.
John, how many were there? Like approximately of stone people
How many
that we
what?
saw, or was it too many to count?
Sorry, I didn't add.
The stone people that we came upon.
There were a lot.
But like, what are we talking? Like
Probably
200?
you saw over 50.
Okay. It's not out of the question. Have Mediel and Nikos come back?
They're outside waiting for you to come get them.
Right. Nikos, Mediel.
The door opens up. You done in here?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean,
Well, I mean,
you.
with your private time.
Yeah. We're good.
All right. Somebody wanted a map.
Indeed, and I'd like to sit down with you and go over our best plan of attack. However, I'd also, if you've the right person, would like to send a scout, or if you to check the stone bodies. We've taken care of the Gorgon, so it should be fairly straightforward. But someone to search if Prill is among them. Just. I don't want to let a resource go. That could be fruitful.
So you want us to send out scouts to see if they can find Prill amongst those?
We've searched for her through other means, and if she is among them, then it's possible to restore her.
Right. Well, that battle happened a while ago. I don't know if Prill would be there, but that's not the only one either.
There's something else I can try. Give me a few minutes.
Right.
So I'm going to go off to one side and I'm going to cast divination as a ritual.
Okay.
Sorry, since we only just destroyed the Gorgon, I assumed that there may have been others added to the count since the initial battle, no?
They were using, they had a few of them as part of their army. We had a battle in the mists and lost a lot of people in that. But took down a couple of their Gorgons, but there's still some running around. Guess you got one of them. Thank you. But it's not the only battlefield that has people who are turned to stone.
Right. We need to get inside. We need to figure out, which I'm sure you've been planning for quite a while, the best way to get us inside. If he won't come to us, then we'll have to go to him. And we'll need sort of I don't know, I was thinking kind of a layered effect. If we had a core group of people and different groups ahead and around them that have different functions to peel off at different areas to keep things at bay so that we can send ourselves as a spear straight through to the heart. The battle will rage everywhere, but if we can get through and actually get to him, then we've a fair chance of ending it there and then. If he's dead, I think it will be, well, not bloodless, but a fairly simple matter to turn the tide.
Mediel says, if Yulorian is killed, I have a feeling that this unification will be split immediately. I think it is his magic that is keeping open this gate. And I know that the people on the other side of the gate, if the deal is broken because of his death, they will not stay in this realm.
And that's it, isn't it? It's not elegant, but it is simple.
Yes. Well, we have been, you came here through the brambles, yes.
Aye.
We have been making, we've been making them sprout up all over the place. And they've been trying to burn some of them down, but we just keep replacing them. We can get you close simply through our bramble network. We can stage all of our people and get ready for an assault, but we cannot get directly into it. But we will be within
half a mile, I think.
Yes, about a half a mile of the citadel. We have owl riders. If you can tunnel, I know that there are dungeons.
But the only room. Come on. Are you all sitting here for set dressing? You came with me. You're my team. You're my... you two are honorary, but you're my musketeers.
I'm divinating on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I know. I need my generals.
Can I roll out the battle map?
Sure.
Is there a table somewhere? Or are we doing this on the floor?
Now you've got a table. There's a big table right in the middle of all these different chairs, and all the chairs look like they've been like branches of trees and stuff that have just been like bent into all these different shapes to turn them into chairs. And then,
so I'm going to say, oh.
Yeah, he pulls the bottles of wine off of the coffee table.
Kismet.
John,
We are here to be by your side. And I'm going to put out the battle map, kind of grab the wine bottles and put them on the four corners so it doesn't roll up again.
I may be a captain or a queen on any given day, but the only reason I'm worth two shits at all at anything is because I listen and I surround myself with people who are extremely talented, if extremely difficult at some times.
Hey.
Oh, don't lie.
So, I've surrounded myself with you all. And I include you two in that, Nikos and Mediel. I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have put in to keeping this realm safe and Yulorian at bay. I'll never be able to repay that to any of you. And I'll promise to do the rest of my life paying it back. So please, know that you are a part of this team now. And these are the best heads I could possibly think of to be in the same room together to figure it out. Help me make the best decisions here.
All right.
We will. You have my bow.
And my staff. And my Draken. Hi.
And my sword, because I also have one of those.
I also still have this pistol.
Me too.
I wasn't listening.
We know.
That's because Orlok is always busy whenever Kismet says something nice about him.
True.
It is by
Very
design.
busy drinking. So Orlok wanders back over, having finished his divination, and I'll get an answer at some point. Perhaps now.
Oh.
Hold on.
Moment. He has to put together a whole damn
Answers.
map and answer all of our questions.
Processing.
Skill buffer.
Buffering.
Arcane buffer happening.
We're like, hey, John, be 13 people at once.
I've been buffering so much tonight.
Honestly, the switch from like terrified to okay, we're gonna do this shit was pretty awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it better when we were saving Aloria's family.
My family?
Or my family, or
Anyone else's family.
Well, yeah, it's easier when it's not your house, you know? My brother was a dick.
Aw, leave.
you though.
He's half brother, but you know,
Leave.
he's getting better.
Didn't Kismet sleep with him?
No,
No.
no,
Maybe.
Because he's
no.
still alive, or
Willow, I have something.
You kept calling my dad hot. What?
oh, that's right. Yeah, it was Willow's dad.
Total zaddy.
It's that missing arm, isn't it?
That was where we discovered that.
If I can resist Nikos, I can resist anyone. I've now graduated.
Yeah.
Have you,
And Miriel.
Medio.
the panic is
Video.
real.
We're like Marias.
Maria.
So Orlok comes back over and says, she is not among the people turned to stone.
Right. Then that's that. Orlok, I had just suppose rallied my generals, of which I consider you one.
Hi. Me too.
I want us to work together. I want us to pick holes in each other's ideas. I want us to go back and forth until we know exactly what we want to do.
That's wise.
We're going to get one shot at this.
Well, then let's get to work. So we go into a montage of
I was just gonna say.
Montage.
Please.
Go into a montage.
Hell yeah.
But if we
I
come in from the
specifically-
east and they come in from the west, from both of those points, they won't be expecting.
I'm gonna come from the sky.
you three, run with mucus. Sorry, history of the world.
Jonathan, you can ride Jonathan.
Why they
I
pick
was
that
thinking
name?
it would be very interesting to do sort of like a,
Yeah.
what was it, the 7 Harry Potters? You know what I mean? When they all took the Polyjuice Potion. So everybody's riding owl riders everywhere and they don't know who's who. Who's
John, did you just change the music to listen to your heart?
I did.
Oh my
Because it's a
god.
montage.
I'm not hearing it. Hang on. I need to hear it.
Hold on, I can.
It's the closest
So-
thing I had to montage music.
So out of character though for a second, if Alorian has become all paranoid and reclusive, then we could send the army to basically attack their army and then slip into the Citadel ourselves and fight our way to him while the rest of the army is being, distracted.
Basically, yeah. It's just sort of keep on hitting a front and sort of splitting off, and the next four sort of hitting a front and splitting off, and getting
No,
us
I mean-
deeper into territory.
No, I mean, because from like a running a game standpoint, I think if I was a GM, running an army battle sucks because it's too many people to keep track of. But also, like, if we get, from a tactical standpoint, if we get bogged down fighting in the pitch of battle with the army, by the time we get to Alorian, we'll all be out of spells and hit points and everything else.
I don't know. What's to say, like, just, I don't know, playing around mechanically, throwing ideas out there. That there couldn't be some sort of like the way John has done skill check type things, but it's like army check.
Or we
You
let
know what I mean? How do we like
John
overcome and
decide.
get successes before failures to like?
No, I mean, you can do that kind of thing. I'm saying, like, in the world, by the time if we were all fighting with the army, like, Orlac would be out of spells by the time we got to the Citadel. And then what? You know, wouldn't it make more sense to like have the army do its thing, and then we like kismet our way in, sneaky wise, and fight our way through the Citadel to get to Alorian while the army's being distracted by our army.
I mean, I thought that's what I first proposed, and like Orlac told me that was not going to work. Like,
Now you wanted to lure him
by
out.
ourselves.
You wanted to like lure him out.
I meant just okay. I think that like you were reading a little bit differently into my words than I was thinking them, and they both got interpreted differently. But regardless, that was what I was kind of trying to say. Of like, we need to get him alone, as in like not the whole. Like, if we're on the battlefield, then he's going to go to the battlefield. So we need to like bring the battle to him. And if we're going to get inside, then I figured that we would need distraction and help to get in.
So what you're saying, Kismet, is that the army of anywhere from 300 to 1,200 will attack. I'm assuming with our new friends here leading them. And while that's happening, we are going to breach the gate or the wall and try to battle him inside, even though it's his own ground.
Oh, especially if he won't come outside, then we have to.
Well, the reports say that he is a recluse and paranoid. Paranoid would mean that he would likely leave himself alone, recluse in his castle.
He is afraid of nothing more than other people.
Except if he's paranoid, he's surely going to be well guarded.
Probably have some
Who do you
traps.
trust? Exactly. I mean, I can't imagine there haven't been some spies on both sides. Which I think is also why we should keep the thorn as secret as possible.
The what? And Eliza goes and like make sure the window shades are down.
Yeah, sorry,
The thing.
the thing.
Kismet has a little. She has a little. It's a little
Infection.
thing.
What?
Mhm. It's not. It's not. In fact, it's just a growth.
Stop talking.
Sorry, out of character. You guys know that like Nico and Meniel are right here, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
Out
stop
loud?
talking.
I do now.
That's why when she said thorn, I covered it up with your little thing.
Okay.
It's super smooth. I'm sure they didn't get it.
Sorry. Hungry, I can't.
Nico, is there a way to get inside the Citadel that you know of? If we could slip a small strike force into the Citadel while the armies engage.
Well, you have a druid. You can tunnel.
Absolutely. I was actually curious about chatting with you, Meriel, about maybe talking strategy, combining forces.
Would you like to talk about?
How to get to the Elorian with magic. Because I know that you can do the same kind of magic that I can because I feel it.
Oh, can you then?
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have some tricks, yes. But they count on me being on the battlefield.
Of course.
Yes, so, but we can get you through the Thorn Network to the Brambles
Yes.
to about half a mile, maybe.
That would.
You can take them the rest of the way. There are subterranean dungeons. Just look out for the dragon.
Of course.
The what?
Nothing.
She's flirting with me.
Making jokes.
Well, great. I mean, I just don't want to assume that the brambles will work the same way that they do on my plane. So I'd like to be acquainted with them before I try tunnel around.
Yes. Would you like to come meet the Brambles with me?
Yes, I would.
All right, come on. We'll be back.
Bye.
Nikos. We should have some food and drink tonight to go all around. Spirits. He says, couldn't agree more. Tonight, minor celebration. Nothing too crazy. They'll be dancing around a fire. Shirts off. Just mine.
Yeah, your shirt's not allowed.
Just in a tunic that's like split down to his navel with like...
And also a muscle shirt, so it's split down on the other sides too. Basically just 4 bandanas tied together.
Just like reaches over and scratches his well-defined pecs. Yeah. Sorry, peaks. His peaks.
Crushed it.
Yeah. She takes you over and brings you in front of like this big twist of brambles. And she says, can you reach out? Can you feel them?
Yes, but I mean, it does feel almost like it's a different wavelength than what I'm used to.
But I think you need to get on the right wavelength.
Okay.
She kind of comes around behind you and she says, close your eyes, feel it in your heart.
Somewhere Urgoon is uncomfortable.
Connect with them. And then will them to get out of your way. Make a wisdom check.
Yeah, hell yeah. Where's our pottery wheel?
Get it, Willow!
Let's see, wisdom check. 17?
17. You kind of reach out and then you can hear and you open your eyes for a moment and you see them and like the weirdness of their vibe. You're kind of like they're expanding and contracting and she says, don't make them feel your vibration, accept theirs. And you kind of recenter yourself on that and you just and you create this hole in the brambles. And everyone around you is like, hey, she did it. Yeah.
Cool.
Good job, Willow.
That's a big hole. Cool. Thank you. That would be very embarrassing if I couldn't do that when I needed to most. So thank you for introducing me.
It's my pleasure. I think you will find most of the nature around here when you are weaving your magical spells given to the Fey realm. Do not try to bring it under your control.
All right.
Not-
They're in charge.
Wine, food.
Yes.
At dawn, we plan.
I like your style.
And you see her kind of like go around to some other people and tell them, like, get some food, bring out your good berries, whatever you have, bring it out, some meats. And she's trying to organize a little celebration for the evening.
I could help with this feast.
Really?
If you like. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but I am a pretty powerful druid on my plane.
Oh.
And I can definitely...
She says, yes, I can feel your power.
Stop.
Ergun's face.
Oh, I wasn't even looking. Especially
I've
since
got
we're going
a
to
portable
be
hole full of meat.
Easy. Yeah,
Sorry.
I have a spell
Hole
called Hero's
is-
Feast.
Oh.
Hmm.
Do you have Heroes Feast?
I do.
That
That
gives
gives
us
us-
stuff.
That gets us stuff.
It does.
That gives us like some fairly significant stuff.
Okay, you two, stop it. Sorry.
There's just two badgers near Eliza who are both vying for her affection, and
Both humping her leg.
yeah, they keep
Oh,
fighting
no.
each other, and
It's so. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
these tunnels, these dungeon tunnels lead into the Citadel, we could perhaps go before the army attacks. Be in the tunnels when the battle begins. Use that as cover.
Perhaps even. And she looks a little disappointed in herself for saying this. Perhaps even sleep in the tunnels. So we
Would
get a head
ensure
start.
his eye were fixed elsewhere. I mean, he'd probably be more wary of a sneak attack once the battle's already begun. Looking for a
Perhaps we
small force to split off.
find someone with skills in illusion and we have them stage a little bit of a arrival for Kismet that looks like it might be a little hidden, but also in the open, far away from the tunnels. Keep his eye elsewhere. Something he might see or someone might see.
Does what the hell's his name? Nico have a sense of how many tunnels are between where we would enter them and the Citadel? Like, how is it like?
they're not tunnels;
Days.
they are dungeons.
Right, but is it like? I guess, or like, when I ask, dungeons as in a prison, or dungeons as in a fell catacomb full of monsters?
More like prisons.
Well, if it's a prison with guards, it's not exact. We have to either dispatch them or they will raise the alarm.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure if you can have your druid move the earth toward the dungeons, and then you wait until we start the attack.
I'm happy to do it.
Perhaps we're just about to break through on and wait for the signal from you.
Yeah, if you can get close, then as soon as we give you the signal, I'm sure some of those dungeons will empty out as far as guards go, and you won't have as many to take care of.
Probably give it, I don't know, like a 10, 15-minute count.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Of course, you can always go over. There's some balconies up top. Take the owls, but you'll have to deal with gloom stalkers.
Well, we've dealt with our fair share of them before. It wasn't fun, but it wasn't...
I do have a spell that could open a door in a wall. So if we can get to the other side of the dungeon wall, I can open it.
What if we could get you to the Citadel wall?
I could open that, provided that it's no more than 20 feet thick.
I don't think it is.
Do we even, with the best of your information, I don't know, what do you recommend? You're our boots on the ground. Do you think we'd have less trouble through the air, through the city, or through the dungeons?
Honestly, he's up top. So if you go into the dungeons, you have to fight your way level by level up to throne room. You go up top, have a lot fewer levels to get through, but you run the risk of being shot down. If you go in using your wall pass at the ground level, which is what we'd be able to get you at, we'd be able to stream in through that pass. Yeah, is it like a permanent hole in the wall?
It lasts for an hour.
Close enough to permanent.
Well, I could make a permanent one, but it would take me 15 minutes.
Not sure we could hold the wall for that long.
Well, if we need to break through their lines, I might have something that could do that.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Have to be used at the right moment. But Gizbert, it is your decision as which do you favor, the air, the dungeon, or the ground?
I think I favor the ground. From the air, there's too much risk of us giving away the game or just being shot down before we get close enough to make a difference. And I don't fancy a dungeon that I don't know the layout of. I don't know what's inside or how many of them.
Unlike all the other dungeons you've ever been in.
Yes, but if I choose going in through the bottom of a castle or coming in the side, I take the side. I grew up on the streets. I grew up in Arton. I'm quite good at finding a path through a place in a way so as not to be seen.
Is there actually a city around the Citadel, or is it just a fortress?
It's just a fortress. It's a fortress in a wood.
Well, if we go in with the army, we just have to hold back our expendable powers for once we get inside the castle.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think we necessarily need to go with the army, do we? If you can cast a spell to make an instantaneous hole inside of a wall, why do we not go in tunneling just like we would before? Use the briar, use the tunnel, use that as our cover, and instead of going in, go up and then through the wall and make our attack.
I believe Nico was suggesting that then his forces could go in through the wall after us and keep the ground forces busy, but either way.
Well,
if Nico and his forces if the rest of the armies are attacking and his individual local, and he kind of gestures around, these 300 can get us to the wall, then we're at the wall. I think, it's more like, is Nico, John, just correct me if I'm wrong, but is it Nico's basically suggesting that his little group is going to basically like punch us through the line and get us to the wall sort of a thing?
Yeah, they're going to, what you gather from Nikos and Mediel is that if they concentrate most of the army in one spot, they can probably push back, because his forces have been known to fall back into the castle as well. So they're planning on the castle walls being impenetrable. So they've made it to the castle walls before, but then, rocks come down, boiling oil, all that sort of stuff. But if they have a way through and umbrellas, druid umbrella.
It's just that bus stop scene from Totoro. A big old leaf.
I still don't see... I feel like that gives away the game sooner than we need to give away the game. I feel like we could get to the wall, underground, unseen, with their forces lying in wait, ready to follow us. We make the hole, we go through the hole before the battle's even started.
So once we start moving our people, they're going to know.
It is hard to move hundreds of people without the other side knowing.
Yeah, and even though we're going through the brambles, we've never been able to make it over there without him putting up a defensive force.
Right.
The most that we could
I just thought if the hole was
I
already,
think that's a pretty good idea.
if the hole was already there before you started punching, do you take my meaning?
They could dispel my spell and the hole would vanish.
Oh, well then never mind. My hole's permanent, but I can't do it fast enough.
What is your hole exactly?
The paints.
Please. She holds up, I don't think Orlok has ever seen it, actually, and she holds up the Nolzar's marvelous...
Oh, Nolzar's pigments, but those are also magical and can be dispelled.
Once I've already made a thing?
With a powerful enough spell.
In theory.
I mean, I can cast a spell that would actually crumble part of the wall.
Unless it's magically protected.
Correct.
Magically.
It's not going to say that I won't be able to get in there and my spell will work either. But
being.
I think the danger is because with divination magics and scrying and shit, he already knows you're here. And he'll know the minute we start moving. The question is, are we safer if we do the tunnely thing and he knows that we're there? He'll either back his army up to surround the citadel or send people down into the ground to get us. But he can't if your army attacks, he has to send his army out to defend it. Or else they'll just besiege it and break in anyway. So it kind of forces his hand to counter our move, you know what I mean?
Kind of, but then we're basically just doing the thing that I wanted to do at the beginning that you said that we couldn't do.
What, lure him out?
Hole.
Which? I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I'm so confused.
So initially you suggested that we need to get him alone by luring him out, and I was saying that's not going to work because he's all paranoid and shit.
Yes, but then we moved on from that and we talked about using the army to punch through a hole into their defenses and do the city. And do a whole big army battle, which we then talked about not doing. So I'm just kind of confused because I feel like every time Sorry.
No,
From what I understand is that there's a giant battle that would be happening to distract, the rest of his forces or whatever like that, while the rest of us kind of like tunnel and sneak our way in. Like that.
Yeah, it's either tunnel or Nikos's people like punch a hole for us, basically.
Sure.
Versus like us with the army, like the army.
I like the idea of just punching the hole because then we have other forces with us that can go about like, helping fight the defenders of the tower, because I don't want to have to expend all of my stuff in order to get to Yulorian.
Yeah. None of us are going to look good with boiling oil on us. I mean, that's not a good look for anyone.
Right. My point being is that you can say that the whole
look rather
army,
blistery.
the whole army is doing their thing. We just take the shock troopers that they mentioned and we go off on suicide mission.
Should we potentially think of it as, I realize we will have additional fighters, but in some ways, so I can cast invisibility on myself in a way. Do we have the ability to cast enough invisibility that we might actually be able to sneak past?
I would guess.
I'm not counting on being able to use jack shit for magic that they're not going to see or know or be.
And also, in the chaos of a battle, if you're invisible, it's a good chance your own troops are going to shoot you by mistake.
Yeah, right. But if we're surrounded by their troops.
Well, if we're surrounded by their troops, hopefully their troops are dead because we've punched our way through.
If we're surrounded by our troops protecting us and we're invisible,
then our troops can't see us.
You can guarantee that there will be people inside. If I am with you, I will use my finest troops to try to take care of the interior guards so you can get to the throne room.
There's not going to be a perfect way to do it. You literally just have to we're going to have this army make a distraction and the rest of us are just going to have to push our way through.
Push our way through as quickly as possible.
And then the biggest point of that is just to prevent Yulorian from escaping.
Yeah, I just got to blitzkrieg the thing.
Or we can do what we did that one time when we had Willow turn into a bird and we all hoped we could make it the 2.5 minutes before
we all
bird
suffocated.
Unfold us, and we didn't suffocate.
I think I turned into a weird sea snake for that.
You were a weird sea snake for that. Yeah,
I was
did.
so stressed.
Right.
Of course, the downside of that is the downside of that is now we all have bags of holding.
Oh, that's true.
So that has an issue.
So Willow the bird carries multiple bags of holding.
One bird with 8 backpacks.
I'll wild shape into a stork and pretend that the backpacks are bags with babies in them.
Yes. Not suspicious at all.
No, they'll never see that coming.
I also like to think that was an actual suggestion.
Yeah. Oh, here, a baby for you.
For you? What?
At a certain point, we're just going to have to roll the dice and just, no pun intended, and just try it. And, if we can't punch through, then we retreat for now and figure out a new way to get in there.
Right.
One thing, actually, Orlac kind of looks at Willow and says, Liza does bring up a good point. We need a way to prevent Yulorian from just teleporting away or portaling away. Perhaps, Willow, you might call a favor or owe a favor to Grandmother. He's the only being I know that's powerful enough to put a ward on the entire Citadel to prevent someone from teleporting away.
I have these.
Yes, no, I know,
Aaron, but cuffs.
But we have to get them on him. I'm worried about him teleporting before we even get there.
I can become ethereal and invisible and get there before everybody else and perhaps survive long enough for you to get there.
That seems like a remarkably bad plan. Brave, but bad.
I know we're trying to get the drop on
but
it as much as
perhaps
possible
Hotch
and
knows.
keep as many troops from being in the area as possible, but eventually he's going to know I'm coming.
Oh,
He
no,
wants this battle just as much as I do. He's not
Right.
going to teleport away from a chance to get me.
no,
I'm the draw.
if it looks like he's losing and we have battled our way to his throne room and his army is being torn apart, he does seem like the type of person who would flee to fight another day. Preventing that.
As long as we keep our ace in the hole and ace in the hole, he had no reason to fear that.
If you say so.
Or as long as he
Not a
thinks
mortal
that he is
being
winning.
like you and me. He wants to win this war, yes. He wants power, yes. But he doesn't fear death. Not like we do. He doesn't think that way.
If you say so.
He's hunted my family across generations, planes, and time, and used every single trick in his arsenal to get me to do this the easy way. Now all he's left with is the hard way. He's been poking and prodding at me and my life and my loved ones to create this battle. This is exactly what he wants.
So Ergoon will snap at Orlac and Draconic and will say, there is a pixie in the rafters invisible. You are going to attack with me right now.
I cast Hold Monster.
Yeah. The thing that I like, so I would like to I have the power to, I don't have that ability.
I cast see invisibility, and then I cast Hold Monster. I'll cast see invisibility as a bonus action using my sorcery points, and then I cast Hold Monster.
The fine tuning of this action.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's perfect.
Just like,
I'll hold him, and I'll say back in Draconic, I'll hold him still. Zap.
What's the
Wisdom DC 20.
Nope, that's a 5.
So the monster's held. And if the monster is currently flying, was it flying? The
Nope,
pixie?
it's sitting there.
All right, so now it's held.
And then
There's a spy. Ergoon, go.
I jump at it and I grapple it
put it in
by
a jar.
just grabbing its neck. Because it's small. I mean, pixies are small.
Tiny.
Itty bitty.
Sorry, you're doing what?
I am jumping up and grabbing it.
All right, you grab it out of the rafters, and it's just frozen in your hand.
What would you like to do with this spy? I know what I would like to do to it. And I'll growl at it.
Is it like frozen, like it can't move at all, like petrified? Like, is there expression, facial expression?
It is petrified.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
I can't like read it. That was LJ saying, not Kismet saying,
I got it.
Fuck me. Nikos protocol.
Well, probably question it.
Which is it? A pixie we recognize?
Yeah, I know who that is.
And
That is Beverin.
Little
is that the one from earlier who was like being annoying?
No.
Okay.
No, get a different name.
Does this pixie work for our foe?
Suppose we won't know till we ask her. She's been working for us. She's a spy. Probably be good to know. There's certainly somebody around here who's been talking about our moves.
Doesn't someone have a spell for truth? Zone of truth?
I mean, it's a spell Willow could cast, but probably doesn't have it memorized.
No, I don't have it prepared for today.
Poop. Is there anyone amongst your fellows who can compel the truth of this being? Otherwise, I fear questioning is for naught.
We do have a potion of mind reading.
Yeah.
The hard part is how do we keep the pixie from casting spells?
You don't have to unpetrify them to read their mind. Their mind's not petrified. Their body's petrified.
No,
You
that's
leave
true.
them exactly the way they are.
So you have the potion. It's in the bag.
Right. I'm gonna take out that potion that I definitely knew we had. Let's see. Right. And I'm gonna walk out of the room for just a sec and take the potion outside of the room and then walk back into the room and just say to the others, not looking at the pixie that we've captured, right, I've put in the order and we'll have someone here who can definitely get the truth out of this one, as I'm like focusing very hard on like the pixie's mind. Like I'm trying to scare them into thinking about like,
We'll have to ask the pixie then. It says Orlac who it's working for, and he pauses because the potion will let you resurface thoughts. So hopefully, like,
Well,
by
it'll let
asking-
you read surface thoughts, and then it allows you to go deeper on a roll, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds right.
I know that's right.
We need more of these. These are cool. I want these.
We have a lot of potions that are really cool that we haven't used.
I know. Like the whole bag just must jingle. Like,
It's just like clink, clink, clink,
Clink,
clink,
clink, clink,
water,
clink.
water, water.
It's all in another dimension, and it's still clinking. That's how many potions we have.
Oh God. That's rough.
Right. Sorry. I don't know how to search for that. There we go. DC save of 13.
What? Wisdom? Yeah, wisdom.
yeah, wisdom.
Fail.
Detect thought spell. There we go.
I've got it here too.
If the creature has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak language, then it's unaffected. But I think its intelligence is higher than that. Yeah. So I'm probing deeper. I get to. I know surface thoughts, and I can probe deeper. But actually, I want to hear what the surface thoughts are before I probe deeper, because if I probe deeper, then they'll know.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm God. I'm fucking dead. So fucking dead.
It's a pity that their spying ways had to end this way, because I could have seen a very cushy place in a new Citadel society for the creature that delivered us Elorian's weak spot. It's a shame it had to end this way. Any more service thoughts?
Make a persuasion roll.
Or deception?
Yeah. Deception.
I mean, I'm pretty good at both, but... that would be... Oh, that's a 19 plus 9.
Oh, yeah, 28. Oh shit! I could tell them about the secret passageway if they just let me out of this.
I want to probe deeper and see where the secret passageway is. That's what I'm going to roll for, of the probe deeper.
I think he makes a saving throw.
Or yeah, saving throw. Saving throw, wisdom 13.
That's an 8.
Yes.
Thank God we held on to this potion for its first level. Or whatever the fuck we do as we got this stupid thing.
Certainly, like early on, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just give them potions. That'll be fun. Not too much magic.
3.5 years
Your
later.
potions until the end game. You kind of like push deeper, and you hear, "Oh no!" as it realizes you're going into its mind and its memories, and you see basically this smeary vision of the inside of this palace, and there's a like kind of the entryway, and there's like a big staircase that comes down one side, and it kind of goes up and twists around. It's very fucking weird and chaotic. And at the base of the staircase, there's like this pillar that kind of comes down next to the staircase, and this invisible secret door opens there, and you, Lorien, comes out and goes, "Ah, good. I see you have arrived. What goodies do you have for me?" As he gets information from this pixie.
All right. I come back out.
What was she looking like? What did she do while she was in there?
Oh, LJ? Or what?
Yeah, or Kismet. Was she just like,
You know.
staring or? Yeah.
Just kind of very intently staring, I think.
Yeah.
Right. We can. Spells and things and all this stuff. Can we keep their? I'm sorry. I'm so fuzzy brain tonight, you guys. I'm trying so hard.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
Physically, while them being able to talk. This is what I'm trying to ask. I can't use normal mouth words like a normal human because I'm spicy brain tonight.
We like you, spicy brain.
Right. Then, can you let them speak? She says to Orlac, who has them petrified.
They'll be able to cast spells.
Not
Even
from
without
the
the
anti-magic
use of their
shackle.
hands? Sorry, what did you say, John?
Not from the anti-magic shackle.
Oh yeah, we could do
Aren't
that.
those too big for her?
Yeah, they're kind of like medium sized, and if she's tiny,
See?
You just
Just put the pixie in the shackle.
Well, I suppose we could tie the pixie up and like attach the shackle to it, I guess.
Try.
If you have.
John, is it approximately the right size to just close one shackle around the whole pixie torso?
Yeah, pretty much. You could get it that small. Yeah, because D&D doesn't have a way to actually do this, which is stupid. I have invented one, and it's called anti-magic shackles.
Yay!
So you can basically, have any sort of spellcaster and like get rid of all. We've captured them; they can't cast magic. So.
Yeah, we're gonna put the anti-magic shackle around the pixie and just
All right, so we tie up the
pin
pixie.
the arms to the body and do that.
Hand you a thimble, and you just wrap some.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it sounds unreasonably cute.
Mm.
All right,
Don't
so
forget
once it's in the
also
shackle,
under-
the whole monster spell would vanish. So
Yeah, it's there.
I could tell you about some stuff, but I think you already know.
I could pull your wings off.
Hey, come on, man. That's not funny.
I'm not a funny person.
No, you're not.
Working for the other side's also not that funny.
You would have your realm and your people and your kin answer to him.
No. No, this is out of necessity. I just,
Necessity.
you want to be on the winning side, and
And all of these folk around me, these people whom you propose to serve and work for and share a common goal with, these people whom you've betrayed to a madman who wants to watch it all burn.
he's got my sisters.
Aye. He's got my brother, my sister, my adoptive kin, and my love.
You all
I-
think you can kill him. Can you really do it? You have a thorn?
Do you think I can kill him? And she just stares. It's so kind of cold, kind of kind, very confident, and very terrifying all at the same time. And I would like to roll an intimidation check.
Yes.
Please, dear God, let this be good, because it ruins. Okay, not bad, not bad. Plus 4, that's 17.
17. Just stare at him. He kind of leans back in the shackle a little bit, and he says,
You are the one from the stories. I think maybe you can't.
Tell us anything we need to know to make it happen. And
He
I
has
won't
your friends
do it. I know.
in the throne room.
With him.
They're prizes. Statues. He plans, if you assault, he'll start breaking them one by one.
Aye.
what magics does he have guarding the palace?
I also still have that potion, so I can read his surface thoughts. So if he's thinking about something and not saying it, I would know.
Yeah, he seems to be one, convinced you're the one from the prophecies, and two, trying to knows that you're in his brain, and three, wants him dead so that, and hopefully he can get his sisters back.
Okay.
And
Since he has protections against teleporting in, there are a few places where he has anti-magic portals, like when you go through a door, anything that like any sort of oh god, you just said the word earlier.
Illusion.
Well, yeah, glamours. Any sort of glamours, or dispelled any sort of illusions, any sort of protection magics.
How's he communicating with you?
I go and I find him.
So he doesn't communicate with
Passage.
you from afar? You haven't already told him what you've seen?
Nope.
Does he have any kind of escape magic? Escape portals, that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's got like a teleport sigil, circle. And
That passage you use, where does it come from? How do you access it?
you access it in the main hall, and it goes to the throne room.
Right.
It's like
How
a
do you
pneumatic
get
tube.
How do you get into the main hall when you go to report to him?
I fly in.
Does he have archers?
Oh yeah.
How do they know not to shoot you?
Well, I have password.
You have a password.
Yeah,
Does it
You
change?
shout that password from far away.
does change.
And how do you
There's a
find
certain-
out what it is?
There's a certain way that I have to approach. If you're not on approach in the right way, then you get shot.
What if you are approaching in the right way?
Then I'm allowed to get onto the one of the parapets and
And give the password.
password, and then I'm allowed inside.
How often does the password change?
Every time I come and go.
Perhaps we could send this one back if we trust it enough to,
Why send it back? Why not get its password for today?
And use it ourselves.
convince Elorian that
Oh,
perhaps Kismet is in a vulnerable place to strike.
that is also an excellent plan, Ergun. I need to learn to let you finish speaking.
I do like finishing my thoughts.
Just takes so damn long.
He does seem to know if I'm lying or holding anything back from him, though.
That makes sense. What's the password for today?
Cranberry.
The parapet
Sorry.
you land on.
With a C or with a G?
See,
Cranberry. Okay, thank you.
Where is the parapet you land on? Is it outside the main hall?
He kind of looks over at your map, and you can see that because basically there's like a bunch of different spires, like a Disney castle, and there's one on the eastern. We'll just say east. There's no north, south, east, west in the Feywild, but for our purposes, the eastern approach.
But where does the parapet lead to inside the castle when you fly in?
it's just in the wall.
No, yes, but once you go past the parapet,
Yeah. Then I fly into the main hall.
does he mean like there's like a door? I guess I'm not understanding what he's saying.
No, I go to the parapet and I tell the statue what the password is, and then the shield comes down and I can get through. And then nobody will shoot me.
Go back to the shield.
Yeah, the anti-magic shield.
It surrounds the whole castle.
Yeah.
Hmm. Now that does change things.
Yeah. If only we had a way to disintegrate it.
Yeah, it's a little harder to disintegrate something that's anti-magic.
That's
Where
like a
is the-
force wall?
Do you know where it's anchored?
What? Where it's anchored?
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
It's like a force wall around the thing.
My disintegrate spell could bring down the wall.
You have a disintegrate spell?
I have many spells.
Oh. Yeah. That put a hole in it.
Could you show us the pattern that gets you not shot?
Yep. I mean, while I'm tied up.
I'm going to very gently pick him up,
Eliza.
and tip him, and then grab a pencil. No? Okay.
Like one of those like Etch-a-Sketch things. Except
Yep.
He turns to Kismet and he says,
Etch-a-Sketch.
"Read my thoughts." He closes his eyes and he concentrates
perfect.
real hard.
I hand Kismet the pencil.
And you can see that he comes down the where the clearing starts between the castle and the forest. And then there's a certain tree, and he looks at it, and you can see it's got this special kind of it's like a Y, two branches that branch out in a Y and then come back together. So it's like a diamond.
Okay.
And once he gets into that diamond, he goes directly across the way, and he kind of looks from side to side, and you can see this glimmering, almost like a tunnel. And he flies through that, and you see him come up, and there's this it's like a stone golem. Essentially, it's like an 8-foot tall, big protective statue. And he says, raspberry. And it goes, and you see its eyes go light up for a second. And you see there's a shimmer in front of him, and it comes down, and he flies out, and he looks back, and the shimmer goes back up again.
Works like that.
Anyone have any other questions for him?
Anything you want to say to him?
Not at the
When
moment.
you meet him?
I appreciate the difficulty that you're under, but please understand I can't trust you entirely right now.
Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna put you
Oh,
somewhere safe, but somewhere out of range of hearing or speaking. And if we've use for you, I'll fetch you. If not, then be content and know that this will be done.
Kismet,
One way or another.
how many have died because this one has been telling secrets?
Would he even know?
That wasn't really a question for him as much as pointing out that
I'm quite aware. I'm also not going to throw away an asset. I need time to figure out what's to be done. This is a sticky mess, a tricky mess. And using people's loves against them,
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Read God.
You have a cage just for such a type of people. Yes, I suggest we hold on to him for now. He would answer for his crimes later.
You, before you go, when was your next report due?
Question.
This evening.
He will be missed this evening,
The password will change.
and Eulorian will know that something is amiss.
Nothing we can do about that.
No, it just means that whatever we do, it must be done quickly.
We can't go tonight.
Mm-mm.
We need rest to recover spells.
I know you can't trust me, but I could go back and give a fake report.
You already said he'd know if you were holding something back or lying.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could tell him the truth and what you've heard.
Surely Elorian would kill him for revealing the secrets about the wall and the pattern.
He might be so excited to hear that you are here that he won't even ask about that stuff.
Is that a risk that you would be willing to take?
For us, it doesn't change anything.
I know.
We'd be the same regardless. Like Orlok says that to Kismet.
I need a minute without ears that shouldn't hear things. Take him away.
Lydia says, very well. And she goes outside with him.
My instinct is to let him go. It changes nothing, and it might make Eulorin even more distracted, even more paranoid. To wonder what it is we're planning, then to finally have it at his doorstep. And then we can take a side route.
Or if he's successful and gets back to us with the new password, we might be able to slip in his way.
What, ride the owls and plan our...
Well, they would see us coming with the owls, but perhaps the plan that Willow told me of that you've done before, where she becomes a bird and flies people in.
I could wild shape into one of those owls. Probably wouldn't suspect that.
Surely he's using some sort of bird messenger himself.
I mean, I'd probably have to see it.
Well,
first.
he's been using Gloomstalkers.
Oh.
Can't become one of those, but pixies
One.
change forms, do they not?
Sometimes.
It may be this. Oh, good.
I would say that we should try to attack tomorrow morning.
It may be that anything that comes through that safe passage, they at least let it get to the golem before to see if it has the right password.
So if we go through the safe passage, and then you cast Disintegrate,
We bring the wall down.
you bring the wall down.
What if you could do it on the golem and just... Would that destroy...
Golem's not the anchor, but technically if the shield was going to be down for a moment, then couldn't we make ourselves invisible? Just time our passage for when the shield is down and get in without anybody being the wiser? No disintegrate, no mess.
Whoever casts the spell will know that when it comes down. But a disintegration, if it is a wall of force, a disintegration spell will destroy it instantly. And at that point, we can use whatever spells we want to facilitate our entry into the Citadel.
It will destroy the entire spell or punch a hole in it.
Destroy the spell.
something this big, it's going to...
Yeah, it might just be part of it.
Hole in it. Yeah.
But if it, at that point, if it just punches a hole, like, well, John, do I think it'll punch a hole that will just stay as a hole, or will it like fill back in?
I'll say yes.
The hole
You would know that it would be a permanent hole. Like the only way to fix it would be to come back and recast the spell on the hole.
Right. It'll be a permanent hole. If that hole is someplace where I can cast that pass wall spell, it would open up a doorway for the rest of the troops.
Then I'm confused. I don't know why we send him back at all then.
Because if he doesn't come back, they'll know that he's been captured. They might change the safe passage.
But why do we need to get...
I'm confused which part you're confused about.
I'm confused about the whole thing. It's like I thought we had a plan of like we were going to punch a hole through it and go through the wall. And now because we know this, we're changing everything of like trying to like go the same way that he was, but how? And
because I can't punch through the wall with the shield spell up.
But like, what's the difference of you casting Disintegrate on it there or just casting Disintegrate on it where we want to go through? It's still in the magic field no matter where you hit the hole.
Is the wall of force around the citadel or is it along the wall?
It's along the wall.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying is like, why are we trying to go up in the air and fly in a thing and hope that they, what if the pixies that go there are never in disguise and all of a sudden there's a bloody owl flying through
that's true.
In a passage that shouldn't be, and then it's
if it's along the wall, then it doesn't matter. Then we can just do it anywhere and just do the thing we were talking about before. So
the valuable thing we gain from that conversation is being aware we will need to get through that anti-magic spell.
Right, because if we hadn't known that, I would have just wasted the pass wall.
Right.
The other thing we learned is that we have to, once this starts, we have to move very fast because he's going to start destroying statues.
Yeah.
Can't really see a way for us to do this without him knowing we're doing it.
Destroying statues is only valuable if I know that information. So if we don't send him back, Yulorian will assume we know the information. If we do send him back, then hopefully he's so distracted and excited about the fact that I'm here and that he knows our plans that he acts. Otherwise, there's no value in him doing that. He's not a spiteful creature as much as he is a hungry one.
Yeah, I mean,
if it has no value.
Yeah,
we need him to go.
Okay,
we need him to go back, believing you do not. And I realize the other two are in the room with me. Have a means of destroying him.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, if the hope is that we send back the pixie and Alorian's so excited that you're here and he can finally, get his hands on you and do the whole thing that he won't ask any other in-depth questions. If he does, well, it's going to be a pretty short assault. But, I think we take the risk of it.
Could we give the pixie a poison? Should he be forced to answer certain questions, he takes it?
I mean, you're talking about a pixie who was willing to betray everybody else to preserve himself and his family. The idea doesn't seem like the guy who's going to take poison at this point.
Wish there was a way that we could determine whether or not that happened.
Well, find out the hard way, I guess.
Just give him Orlax's book. I'm taking poison now.
Yeah. Arg. Have died while writing. Yeah, I think you're right, Kismet. We send him back and hope for the best.
Do we want to send him back?
Whether we send him or not. I just don't want him to think we know anything more than he already thinks we do.
It seems to me there are two options. We don't send him back. Eulurian knows something is up, but does not know specifically what. We send the pixie back, and if the pixie lies, we still have the same situation, because Eulurian will know that he lies. If we have the pixie tell the truth, then Eulurian will just simply have to believe whatever the pixie says. But we have the opportunity to change our plans and potentially deceive Eulurian.
We could tell the pixie that we're going to come in through the safe route. And he could tell, if he decides to tell Eulurian that, or if Eulurian reads his thoughts or tortures the truth out of him, he'll think we're coming that route, when in fact we're going to go on the ground.
Which would buy us time to...
Indeed.
Yes.
I don't think we necessarily need to say outright anything more than we already have.
Could we
report back that I'm here and that we will attack in the morning? And if he's pressed for more information, the only thing we asked questions about was the safe route, was flying in, was approaching from the air. That's what he overheard.
He in fact overheard everything we talked about before that.
Did mention the thorn in his presence.
Well, he
What
brought it up.
Oh, you're right.
Argun, would
We
you
did.
be able to sense him if he was invisible again?
I did not sense him, I saw him.
I wonder if instead of him being freed, he escaped on his own. We made it easy for him to get out, made it easy for him to overhear a conversation of our plans.
Kismet. If the pixie overheard us talking about the thing, you have to kill him. That is our only weapon. And if Eulurian tortures him out of it or threatens his sisters, and he reveals it, this game is over.
Only if we send him back. Otherwise, we keep him here.
I didn't mention you know what.
We don't
We
know
did.
how we mentioned it.
No, he
We
did.
don't know.
Didn't he?
No, he said, "Do you have a thorn?" But before, he was spying on us for a while, even when we sent the other people out of the room.
Like, was he spying on us for a while? Do we know? Like, when
He
did
mentioned
you?
the word glamours that Orlac said, which he said while you were still outside. So
Yeah.
he's been watching you for the whole time you've been.
I mean, even if we never said, "Oh, we have the thorn," we said the word thorn, then we got all secretive about it, and then we started talking about the thing. It's
To
not
be fair,
hard to put together.
he did say, "Do you have a thorn?"
Yeah.
Right.
And he wouldn't believe that she could kill him, so he doesn't believe that we have a thorn.
That wasn't how I read it, but sure.
I entirely read it as he's going, "Do you have a thorn? Can you actually do this?" And we did not prove to him that we could actually do.
Then he seemed to think that Kismet was the chosen one and maybe had a
Well,
chance at taking that.
that's all in the rhyme anyways. Like, that's in like the lore of like the history of this conflict and like the resistance sort of whoever came up with this rhyme thing. It's like that's not that's not like an unknown word. Like, that's a thing that's attached to the destiny, and it like says in the rhyme that like that's what you have to have for it to all come tumbling down. The
Sure.
thorn and blade.
But then we talked about having one.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, Willow didn't say the word thorn. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just retconning here. It's like Willow did not say the word thorn. She said something about like
the thorn.
And then
we did.
We did.
Yeah.
And then we sent the people out of the room and then talked about the thing because we didn't want to use that word anymore.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So that
I mean, if we just keep the... Oh, sorry.
So then it seems to me that we keep our original plan and do not let him return. If anything, we just have to speed up our actions.
That
He
seems
could have
safe.
been killed by anything or anyone anywhere.
And Nikos could have caught it, or some other
Doesn't-
guardian.
Mean that you're here or that
We've caught him before.
you have?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I'm so sorry, John. Can you say that?
Yeah, we caught some before. This isn't the first.
This isn't the first time one hasn't gone back.
Mm-hmm.
Him specifically, or other spies?
Well, not that one in specifically, no.
Okay. Because if he had a habit of escaping, then we have another problem.
Yeah, his name's Rocket.
Yeah, some sort of Houdini pixie.
Houdini the Pixie.
Oh no.
That actually makes me feel a lot better. He wouldn't be the first to not come back. That tells them nothing.
Yeah, we got a wall full of those guys in there.
That's disturbing, but
A little bit.
logical.
Yeah.
Then
Isn't it? You look like you need some rest.
Or maybe a hero's feast.
Lasts for 24 hours.
Sure does.
Advantage on wisdom saving throws. Immune to fear. Poison.
Just like Mama used to make.
like staying at a Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm. Holiday Inn Express.
That's right.
But I think costs $5,000 or something, or $1,000.
Oh, in components? Yeah, it's pricey.
Chalice equaling $1,000. I seem to remember you picking up a chalice at some point.
So just to go over the plan out of character real quick. In the morning, we're going to send the army to attack while Nico's brute squad is going to get us to the... We're going to go with them, and they're going to punch a hole to the side of the citadel. We're going to break the wall, or break the magic wall, put a hole in the real wall, and then go in and get to the throne room. That's
That's the plan.
As I understand it, yes.
okay. Plan, get them. Got it.
It's worked for us before.
It's
Plan,
kind of our
fuck that
our
wall.
idiom.
Literally,
Idioms? Yes, idiom.
every plan with every D&D group turns into get 'em.
As players are not generals.
No. I'm like,
What? I don't know what you're talking about,
We're
Brian.
doing all of this in our imagination.
Well, then we won. Whee!
Really?
Duh.
Because I'm doing it in my imagination, and Brian keeps coming up with very specific reasons why my imagination isn't the right way to do it.
Well, you need to be more clear with your imagination because it doesn't make sense to anyone but you.
Battle planning.
Well, because we're probably all thinking of like the field of battle like completely differently than each other.
Yeah.
it's true. We don't have the battle map in
Like,
front.
What it looks like
LJ's Citadel surrounded by a city. For Willow, for like Allura, it's surrounded by a forest. For me, it's like an open field. Like everybody has a different fucking Feywild.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing, God damn it.
Mine looks like a snail.
Oh,
Yeah,
cute.
no one's going to Eliza's Citadel.
Probably not. No.
With the racing snail.
Yeah. But like tipped over on its side in a circle. Like it's got a
And
snail.
it's breakdancing.
A nautilus.
Yes, it's got a nautilus.
That's in the water.
Also, I would like to point out it's like 11 o'clock for our Midwestern friends.
Time it is.
It is exactly 11.
Then we sleep and eat, and tomorrow or next game we siege.
Yes.
The siege?
Yeah,
You see?
we're keeping Mr. Pixie in the wall of pixies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're just lucky Allard isn't here, because he would be looking at that wall of pixies going, I'm gonna make a pixophone. Meow, meow, meow. Meow.
Eliza would help with that, without a doubt. So would
Of all these cages, these anti-magic cages, and there's just a bunch of pixies singing pixie songs in 6-part harmonies.
Oh my
The
god.
hard part isn't getting them. The hard part isn't hitting them with the mallet. The hard part is lining them up in the right tone.
Yes.
That's what takes.
We'll have to test each one.
Right.
No, that one's a little off pitch. Feed him some more wine.
We have an F sharp over here. F sharp. Where do we place the F sharp?
Oh, this one's an F sharp 7.
They're all just saying "quit it" in different pitches. Quit it! Quit it! Quit it! Quit it! Bong.
This doesn't feel right.
It's the Monty Python mouse organ.
Or the Muppets.
Oh, right.
Muppets had one too. Though I think they just stole it directly from Monty Python.
It's very possible.
So, do we want to act out the Hero's Feast next week, or do we want to just? I mean, it could be kind of fun to act it out, and
I think it'd be fun. I think that if we do it next week, it's going to be a whole game of heroes, thing, which is fine. That's fun. I'm down with that.
Yeah, but by that point, the game after that, we will have forgotten what our plan was.
yes. So I say,
Oh, we recorded all of this.
Oh, because
we can do. We can
Elder's
do.
written it down.
Do we want to give our dear Willow a chance to tell us what we're eating for dinner before we go to bed?
Anybody got any allergies?
I had a question. Are we partying now? So we're
I have
Eating.
no idea.
yeah.
I mean, I think, out of character for a second. I'm sorry, man. But I think, my vote would be like, let's next game get to the
That's
get to the thing, rather
right,
than
that's why-
spending the whole game on the feast.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm trying to get to the dinner, because I didn't want to steal the fun away from Alora of this fun spell she prepared for us.
I mean, it just says magnificent food and drink, so.
Okay. We have a magnificent feast.
The way I like to think about it is whatever each one of you thinks about is your ultimate food while you're sitting at this table. Basically, she casts the spell. She puts this chalice in the middle and casts the spell, and each one of you imagines the perfect meal, and it just kind of rises up out of the table and is the most delicious version of that you have ever had.
How many oysters do the Drakens eat tonight?
4 dozen? Is that? Did you see that meme this week?
Does that seem right?
The video that happened this week about the woman who went on a date and ate 4 dozen oysters?
Oh, God.
No.
Did she just
And the-
die?
The dude like went to the bathroom and never came back.
Oh.
And she was like,
She's
"What
like,
the
I'm not
fuck?"
paying for
He's
this.
like, I asked you out for a drink and you ate 4 dozen oysters.
Yikes.
Fair, honestly.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of oysters.
Willow, I noticed that today you had a sign that said hot, and you used it quite a bit when there were other people with low cut, small shirts. I am just curious, should I wear less clothing or should I wear more clothing because I am too hot or others are too hot? Or...
It's not that what they were wearing was the hot thing.
There you
They
go.
were just doing hot things. You do
Okay.
hot things.
Because
I just didn't
I'm
have the
hot.
sign before.
Oh,
Yeah, I put
Now
a
I
sign
can
on roll
point it
20
out.
for this.
Interest
Yeah.
what?
I put a sign on roll 20 for this.
Awkward hot? Yeah.
Couldn't make the hot one go away, so just awkward.
No, awkward hot is kind of the hot that Ergun is.
Yep.
Hmm,
It's fair.
I am awkward. Hot.
Now the worst part about next game is going to be Laura and I have to figure out what array of spells are going to be possibly be useful in a siege.
I do not envy you having to choose.
I also
we have
need
a long
to
rest.
Does
Yeah,
Willow could use Call Lightning?
Yep. See, that's the thing is we're doing the feast tonight. We'll have a full 8 hours. I can go through and prepare what spells I need.
Yeah. It's worse for Willow. I mean, it's worse for Alora because
Yes.
like she has all the druid spells. Like I only have the ones in my spell book, but like you have the whole like phalanx of druid spells to pick from.
My
So
cantrip,
I also have,
everything else does.
I think, I have many druid spells. So it might be good for us to chat to make sure I'm not just picking up the same spells as you.
Yeah, copycat.
What is our
That is a good idea.
space stuff that we get? Advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, here, let me look at it.
So, Tiffany, but you can't change your spells. You only know the ones you've chosen.
Oh, at each level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can change my basically.
change her whole
my
list.
spell list.
Gotcha.
Every time
Every
she
long,
sleeps.
every long rest. All right, I have the Hero's Feast in the chat here.
Ooh, lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it takes us an hour to actually eat, and you don't get the benefits until the hour's done. But then they last.
Right. The diseases and poison thing doesn't count because that just cures you if you already have something wrong with you. But we are immune to poison and being frightened.
And wisdom with advantage and hit point increase. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. By 2d10.
And
If you want me to roll that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that and I'll mark it down for next time.
I just want to know what everyone's eating.
So 2d10, that is 9. So 9 hit points. Temporary.
These aren't temporary hit points. Your hit point
it's
maximum is
hit point
increased
max.
by 9.
I'm going to list it as
Oh,
temporary
yeah.
hit points because or else I'll forget what my normal total is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
mark
if
them as
you get
temporary.
healed
Hero's Feast. Yeah, you can be healed up past
up to that max.
Exactly.
So like
And
they're
then-
not technically temporary hit points.
and temporary hit points go on top of these as well. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's an additional 9 points increase of what yours is for 24 hours. That makes sense.
Yes.
I can put this in Discord as well.
I wrote it on a notepad and I'm putting it in my dice box.
so what's
It's gonna be the
Eliza's
last thing I see from my notes for today. So we'll
What's Eliza's food?
Yeah, what's her meal?
It is it's a lot of really spicy, like we would probably call it like Caribbean food, but it's dwarf food here.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
So it's like paella and just like seafood, but like crabs and just like super spice and like Jamaican jerk chicken and
Bulette.
just like, what?
Bulette steaks.
Oh my god, yes. And so much of it. And then also cakes. Like lemon cakes and lemon pies and a lot of lemon-based sweets actually. That's Eliza's food tonight.
I
Bulette
know
steaks and
Willis
lemon
would be.
cakes. Yeah, what's Willow's?
Sugar pretzels. There's definitely sugar pretzels.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think that's a go for everybody. A clawback.
Yes.
And
I was
I
wondering
have,
if somebody was going to do a clawback.
I have Orlax.
Yeah.
The Orlac goes for a traditional German, that's almost German food because that's the food of Imperia. So it starts off with Peffelbusters, which are fried battered apples.
Oh.
And then
Apple fried bats?
I mean, it doesn't shock me.
cherry stewed in wine. There's a sauerbraten. There's a sour orange salad. There's fried spinach with bacon. And there's an apple tart at the end.
Who's next? Kismet?
Ben,
Just
you are
piles and piles and piles of bacon.
I'm muted. Oops.
You go first. I saw you start to talk, which is why I didn't talk.
Oh, just what I was gonna say is remarkably similar to Brian.
No, we grew up in the same class.
It's like some nice mounds of like sauerkraut and some brats and stuff like that.
I think our food like appears, and then we both kind of go, "Oh, you got that! Oh, you got that!" And then we start sharing.
Yeah,
It's really just my sister's cooking.
Yeah,
Aww.
that's what I got too.
You're welcome.
I was imagining it like Dr. Lazarus or Alan Rickman in Galaxy Quest when they're all like, "We have taken the pains of making everything from your hometown," and so like Tim Allen gets a steak and there's chicken and all
And
this
he
stuff.
gets
He's got
worms.
these like leaping beetles and worms.
Oh God, that movie's so good.
Kismet. Of cheating.
I think it's it's like a really rustic, like rabbit stew. Like not a brown gravy, just a light stew, like something you'd make on the road, and some brown bread. It doesn't look like it's been toasted, but there's a faint crunch when she bites it, and you get the feeling that it's stale.
It's a
No,
trencher.
It seems like it's probably the kind of meal that she made on the road for Doolin.
Something you've probably all eaten. Well, those of you who are musketeers had eaten on the lines while marching. Mediel and Nikos ask if they can get in on it.
Of course.
They each
Cotton candy.
cotton candy.
I mean, it still works, but I'm
Funnel
a
cakes.
little bit.
It's like that. That's a good thing where it's like every single thing is like massive amounts of sugar. So it's like cotton candy, whipped cream, like candy corns, like everything's
Candy
like, I like eating sugar.
Yes. Yeah, they actually they eat some weird sorts of animals. Does not smell unlike pork.
Wait, pork or orc?
Pork with a P. Could be orc.
In line.
No, it is not in the shape of a pig. So
Boy.
They're chowing down on orc, and we're all going.
no, it's just
I think I met that guy.
it's just pixies on skewers barbecued. That's not actually what they're eating.
I got pixies in something. That was in a movie or a.
Eddie Izzard.
No. The pixies on a stick, like a fried pixies on a stick. It was in something. I don't remember what it's from.
Like a Shrek or something, or
I want to say maybe was it Hellboy in that second Hellboy when he's in the marketplace?
yeah. I think in the underground city, like the
City thing, yeah, something.
I can't even Google it.
Hellboy 2,
Yeah.
pixie on a stick.
Okay. Y'all, I'm very sorry. It is only 9:00 my time, and I am
Done.
my carriage is turning into a pumpkin.
And as you eat your feast, and the music is playing outside, and the fires are going, and the wine is flowing, the camera pulls away, and you all sleep well, knowing that knowing that tomorrow's gonna be a big day.
Why?
You're gonna make pixie kebabs. And
We all oversleeping. I can't besiege today. I just
I'm too
we besiege
tired.
tomorrow.
Can we besiege Tamara?
It'll still be there.
I mean, do they really have to besiege today? I mean, it's like the castle's like permanent. So, I mean.
Warlock, stop kvetching. We gotta besiege. Let's go.
Fine. Mr. Bumble doesn't really want to.
Warlock, you're switching to a distant universe. Come back.
It's the other voices in my head.
That's rough.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it.
Good
All
night.
right.
Good night.
Good night, lovely people. Tomorrow, Kismet leads. Next time, Kismet leads us to glory, or we all die horribly.
Oh, I have another. I can do my leadership feat if you need and more hit points.
Do it.
Is that a tonight thing or a next time thing?
No, that's a next thing. That's next time.
Great.
Yeah.
And that'll be temporary hit points. That'll stack.
Yes.